On the 12th of November, German Green Rebecca Harms and two other MEPs hosted a hearing on the increasing use of nuclear energy in the Russian offshore oil and gas industry. She interviewed two of the guest speakers, Russian energy experts Nina Leskina and Vladislav Larin.
I'm here today with Nina Lisichiefer. She's from Murmansk. She's working with an NGO, a non-governmental organization called Bellona, and she's quite active against some strange new nuclear projects below and in the Arctic Sea. Could you explain us what are the problems you have to fight with?
Okay, the main actually problem is that the all business is going to be in the Arctic. Arctic, it's unique, it's a very valuable and at the same time very vulnerable area. So any human being activity in this could damage and even ruin it. So when we speak about oil and gas, and especially about the nuclear technologies in oil and gas development, we should think a lot about risks and possible impact on environment. So the idea and the plan of government and the companies that we are fighting against is that to use nuclear technologies while oil and gas development in the Arctic shelf, to use subsea drilling stations with the nuclear like reactors or nuclear units, and also floating nuclear stations for the platforms in the Arctic.
So gas and oil exploration under the Arctic shelf is already a problem in itself.
Yeah, of course. But I may say that at present time there is no any offshore commercial development of oil and gas. There is only the transportation. But the plans of the government and business companies are huge. But the bad technologies or lack of technologies, lack of information, lack of knowledge about the ecosystem and how to develop Arctic in a safe way, that's the problem.
So when I read the first time about floating and subsea nuclear power plants for the Arctic, I thought this is science fiction or anti-Russian propaganda, but it's really a true idea.
Yeah, it's a true idea that is being lobbied on different huge oil and gas events, that is being lobbied among the officials, among the governmental structures on different levels, and it's like proved of with the different data and researches on it. So it's real, but I'm sure that it's not realistic at the same time.
And what can Europeans do? How can the EU or politicians in the EU can help you?
I think that the main point, because when we speak about the Arctic, yeah, it's more than just Russian part. Yeah? It's international area, international arena, and a lot of companies, a lot of governments, states, countries will participate in its development. And when we speak about the oil and gas, we should maybe ask EU to separate the projects that use nuclear and that not use nuclear, and to use, of course, non-nuclear that more like safe and more environmental friendly projects. And of course, when we speak about the shelf, huge projects like Stockman or Nord Stream, it's international projects with the participation of foreign companies and of course foreign countries. So the message to EU is to oblige or to provide the same social and environmental standards and approaches when these companies, European companies, come to Arctic, come to shelf and come to Russia.
So thank you, Nina, and thank you for bringing the information today to the European Parliament.
Thank you very much.
Together with Nina, Vladislav Larin came to the European Parliament. He is a specialist on the plans for floating and subsea nuclear power plants to help drilling oil and gas under the Arctic shelf. So, Mr. Larin, would you please tell me whether these plans for floating and subsea nuclear power plants are real, or whether this is only an idea from the world of Stanislav Lem?
Well, if they say honestly, I think that it's just a project for money laundering, because this project is too huge and unrealistic, that I think it is possibility to use some start amounts for research and some preparations for future development of the project, but when future becomes now, money will finish and project will clearly not realistic.
So, why do you think it's necessary to campaign against this strange idea in the European Parliament?
As soon as I am not sure that this project realistic, I cannot recommend right now to start any campaign, but generally to be in course of these plans and potentially possibility of this nuclear plans of nuclear development in Russia. Yes, I think that necessary to organize any campaign about plans of nuclearification of Russia. Well, and the world in whole, because you know that in not only in Russia now developing a project to continue nuclear energy application. I think it is wrong plans, and we should fight against these projects everywhere, and in Russia, of course, also.
And for our viewers and readers of our homepage, what are the main risks connected to these nuclear ideas for the Arctic shelf, and also for the ideas to excavate oil and gas there?
Well, main risks, it is both environmental, economical and political. As soon as my main interest is environment, environmental problems in Arctic will be just increased in case of application nuclear energy for drilling for oil and gas, because there is already accumulated and dumped a lot of different nuclear stuff like nuclear wastes and spent nuclear fuel, that any additional efforts apply nuclear energy there will just increase problems. So also any works with oil and gas, it is dangerous and polluting for environment, and all of us know how fragile environment in that region. It is possible quickly to destroy, and very long time, many even centuries, not years but centuries, necessary to improve situation. For example, now existing plans to drill for natural gas on Yamal Peninsula, but not too many people know that Yamal Peninsula, it is almost iceberg, iceberg, and if it is starts to melt, also will be necessary to drill on the shelf, but not from the up of land.
Yes. So thank you, Mr. Larin, and for the participants from the side of the European Parliament today during our meeting. I can declare that we will try to follow the development of these strange ideas. We will make it an issue towards European companies who are active in the oil and gas and energy sector, who are cooperating with either Rosatom or Gazprom. And we also will try to make this strange idea of nuclear power plants for the Arctic shelf an issue in the European Parliament, in the European Commission, and in those who are working on diplomacy between EU and Russia.